versus Alabama game. LSU versus Alabama, Saturday, 6:45 p.m. kickoff in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I think it's gonna be it's always showtime. It's always prime time. It's always the best game of the season. LSU, number 15 LSU versus number 9 Alabama, bro. I think this is gonna be a big time game as usual. I think people need to put a little respect on my LSU Tigers name. And I say that because we do have 2 losses on the season. But if you look at the losses of LSU this season, it's been against Ole Miss and it's been against Florida State. LSU has lost to 2 of the top 20 programs in college football right now in Florida State and Ole Miss. So I think people need to put some respect on my LSU Tigers name right now. I think LSU really has a great opportunity here. I do believe LSU, number 1, has the best player in this game in Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels, I have said in multiple lives, I have said in multiple weekly sports talks. Like I said, we are in episode 7 now, but I have said in multiple lives. I even have a video on YouTube. It just go to NOTL Mone and look what I said about Jaden Daniels before the LSU season started off. I said Jaden Daniels is going to be one of the best quarterbacks in America. That they had a scout questioning should Jaden Daniels be evaluated as a an NFL quarterback. Some scouts was looking at him at receiver, but I do think LSU has the best quarterback in the country heading into the game. Like I said, number 15 LSU versus number 9 Alabama. And I think LSU has the best player in the country. So I always usually side with the team that has the best player. Usually that team wins unless it's some circumstance that that can't be predicted, like an outstanding performance on the defense or just an out-of-body performance by a player on the other team. But usually the team with the best player usually wins. Like I said, it's not that simple. It's going to come down to defense. It's going to come down to third down efficiency. It's going to come down to a couple more things. But usually the player in college football, I would say the team with the best player in college football usually wins that game. You know what I'm saying? So I will give the edge to my LSU Tigers. Like I said, I think LSU has the best offense in the country, led by the best quarterback in the country, who is, I think, the front runner for the Heisman right now. Jaden Daniels is no doubt the front runner for the Heisman Trophy this year. He should be in New York no matter what LSU's record is at the end of the season. Because if you look at Jaden Daniels' body of work so far, you will see that he is a superstar. Jaden Daniels on the season is 163 attempts. I'm sorry. He is 163 completions to 223 attempts, 2,573 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions on the season. Jaden Daniels is a bona fide superstar. He is a bona fide superstar. Jaden Daniels, that is his stats for the season: 25 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. And Jalen Milroe for Alabama has decent stats for I think he is either a red shirt sophomore or a true sophomore this year. I don't know which one it is, but Jaden Milroe, he is 99 attempts for he's 99 completions, 153 attempts, 1,600 yards, 13 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. So Jaden Daniels is almost twice as better this season than Jalen Milroe in all categories. So that should let you know kind of why I like my LSU Tigers. This is just not biased. I'm very biased towards LSU. I'm very biased towards Louisiana football in general. But when you look at the stats going against LSU versus Bama, they're not too far off. And a lot of people are saying, well, Alabama has the advantage on defense. Well, when you look at how both defenses has played this year, they're not too far We talking LSU versus Alabama, and I'm gonna get ready to get into that. But let's take a look at the running game right now. Logan Diggs for LSU has 105 carries on the year, 611 yards, 6 touchdowns. Jay McClellan, I think that's how you pronounce his name, for Alabama has 122 carries, which is more than what Diggs has. 569 and 4 touchdowns on the year. So Logan Diggs with less carries has more yards and more touchdowns than Alabama's top rusher for the season. And Malik Neighbors is putting up godly numbers compared to the competition right now. Malik Neighbors has 56 receptions on the season, 981 yards and 9 touchdowns. Alabama's, check this out, Alabama's leading receiver right now has half the receptions, not even half, a little under half of the receptions that Malik Neighbors had. We're not even going to bring Brian Thomas into this discussion because Brian Thomas is right behind Malik Neighbors. He is number 11. He is the number 2 receiver for the LSU Tigers. Now, Jermaine Burton, who is Alabama's leading receiver right now, has 23 receptions, 508 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Like I said, once again, Malik Neighbors has almost twice as many yards and receptions and touchdowns than Alabama's leading guy right now. So take that into perspective. LSU's offense is twice as better as Alabama's right now. Put that into perspective right now. LSU's offense is almost as twice as better as Alabama's offense. So with that being said, I will give LSU a touchdown to a 10-point favorite right now, if you ask me. So I know what you're going to say. Well, Mon, Alabama's defense is a lot better than LSU's. I watch football just like you do. I know what you're saying. I watch football just as much as you, Mon. So what I'm trying to tell you is Alabama's defense is that much better than LSU's. Well, really, see, I bring out the numbers. They say women lie, men's lie, but numbers don't lie. So let's compare LSU's defense to Alabama's defense, right? So LSU defense has allowed 395 yards on this season. That's on average. Alabama's defense has allowed 306 yards. So that's a difference of about 89 yards a game. So Alabama's defense is about 89 yards better than LSU's defense on this season, right? LSU's defense has allowed 238 passing yards a game. Alabama's defense has allowed 197 on the season. So that's roughly about 40 yards better than what LSU has allowed. LSU's defense has allowed 156 yards rushing a game. Alabama's defense has allowed 108 yards rushing a game. That's about a 50-yard difference. So you see where I'm going with this. It's not a lot of differences between LSU and Alabama. LSU's offense is twice as better than Alabama's. Alabama's defense is about this much better than what LSU's defense is. So that's why I give the edge to the LSU Tigers, not because of bias, but because of what I've been seeing this year from both teams. Alabama's offense tends to struggle a lot early in games, and they have drives where they stall, So that's why I think LSU could be a 7 to 10 point favorite in this game against Alabama. The numbers don't lie. Like I said, LSU's offense is a lot better. LSU's offense right now, to put this into perspective, is averaging 190 yards a game better than what Alabama's offense is averaging right now, if not more. My math is a little funky. Let's see. What is that? Yeah, let's say 190 yards a game. LSU's offense is averaging 190 yards a game better than what Alabama's offense is averaging. LSU's passing game is averaging 120 yards a game better than what Alabama's passing offense is averaging right now. LSU's run game is averaging about 80 yards better than what Alabama's rush game is averaging right now. So you tell me who got the clear advantage here. I'm in a lot of these SEC media. I'm in a lot of these SEC group pages. Well, all we talk about is SEC football, right? And a lot of people is discounting LSU right now. But if you have watched LSU this year, it has not been because we can't score. It is not because we don't have the offense to compete against some of the top programs in the country right now. Right now, we are lacking the talent on defense that DBU and LSU is used to on defense right now. But the numbers are not that much different between LSU's defense and Alabama's defense. But LSU has a clear advantage on offense. LSU can score with the best of them this year. LSU has the best quarterback in the country in Jaden Daniels. And I said this before the season. Please go subscribe to my YouTube page. That's NOTL Mone on YouTube. That's NOTL Mone on YouTube, and look at the video that I did on Jaden Daniels before the season, where I said he will be a Heisman candidate, and also that people should take notice to Jaden Daniels. So I think we have the best player. I know we have the best offense. Somebody's calling me right now. Like I said, but like I said, LSU has the clear advantage on defense on offense this year, and it's not even close. Defense, LSU's defense versus LSU's offense is night and day, right? But the difference between LSU's defense and Alabama's defense is not that much. Alabama has a top 15 defense. No, there's no question about it. But they have not been the best defense this year. This is not the Alabama defense that we are used to. This is not the Alabama offense that we are used to. So let's get into it. LSU's offense versus Bama's D. Who do you think will win? Please comment in the chat. LSU's offense versus Bama's D. Please let me know who you think will win that battle. My money is on LSU. No defense this year has really stopped LSU's offense. LSU is averaging. I gotta be. Let's see if we can find an average on LSU's offense this year. Okay. Against Arkansas, LSU scored 34 points. Against Ole Miss, we did lose against Ole Miss, but we scored 49 points. Against Missouri, LSU scored 49 points, and with the win. LSU scored 48 points against Auburn, 62 against Army. And let's go back a little farther in the season. LSU scored 40. Let's see where we're at. Okay, we're going backwards. So LSU scored 34 against Arkansas, 41 against Mississippi State, 72 against Grambling, and 24 against Florida State, which was the first game of the season. So I think LSU offense is on a historic pace right now. I've even seen some comparisons to that Joe Brady, that Joe Burrow 2019 offense in comparison to numbers that Jaden Daniels and the LSU offense of 2023 is putting up right now. So my money is on LSU. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm taking LSU in the over, and I'm taking LSU money line. That's my bet. LSU in the over, because I think Alabama's still gonna score 28 to 35 points. Alabama is going to score 28 to 35 points easily, I think, because LSU's defense has not been the best. But like I've been saying all year, all the LSU defense needs to give us is 2 stops and a turnover. If they give us 2 stops and a turnover, LSU gets extra possessions on offense, and I say 2 out of those 3 possessions that the defense can give us extra, Jaden Daniels is gonna score on 2 out of 3 of those times. So I think that can give us a 10-point lead easily. You know, not to say that Alabama's gonna fold or just not show up for the game, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I think that LSU is that good this year on offense. I think that any mishaps that we have on defense can be masked by this LSU offense. This is a very special LSU offense. Not only do we have a quarterback who's a dual threat, we have a running back in Logan Diggs who can run that thing. We have 2 receivers on the boundary, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas, who is leading. Malik Neighbors is leading college football right now in yards and receptions and touchdowns right now. So LSU has the talent to beat Alabama offensively. Well, then people say, well, Mon, Alabama's defense is a lot better than LSU offense. Well, if you just listen to my breakdown, it's not that much better. Alabama's defense is not that much better than LSU's. They are maybe on average, they are 90 yards better than what LSU's defense has been this season. They are 90 yards better than what LSU's defense has been this season. Now, that could be a big deal in rankings. And are you a top 10 defense? Are you a top 20 defense? Are you a top 20, top 30 defense? Now, that could be a big difference in rankings, but I don't think it's that much better. Texas had their way with Alabama's defense. They scored at will. They did the same thing last year. LSU last year scored at will against Alabama's defense. Is Alabama's defense that much better than they? Excuse me. Is LSU's defense? Is Alabama's defense that much better than what they were last year when LSU hanged up? I think LSU hanged 34 points on Alabama last year. Is the defense really that much better? I don't think so. So if I had to pick a winner, LSU's offense versus Bama D, I would take LSU's offense. I would take the best player in the country in Jaden Daniels. That's my bet. My bet is on Jaden Daniels. I would take LSU money line. I would take LSU on the over because I think this game is going over 50 points easily. And I think that LSU will be victorious. My money is on LSU money line, LSU on the over. That is my prediction for this game. LSU versus Alabama, 6:45 in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Is going to be a good one. It is always a good game against LSU versus Bama. So that's my take on who will have the edge here. I think LSU's offense is the edge because LSU has 3 of the best players in the country on offense, and that is Jaden Daniels, Brian Thomas, and Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors could be in the Heisman conversation as well if he continues the pace that he is at right now. So that's why I give LSU the edge, and it could be a 7 to 10 point edge that I'm willing to give LSU because I notice a lot of the times Alabama's offense stalls a lot of the times because Jalen Miro is still young. He like I said, I read you his stats. Jalen Miro on the season is 106. He is 1,600 yards on the season, 13 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. He doesn't get a lot of help from his receiving core. Don't get me wrong. Jermaine Burton is having a pretty good season. 23 receptions, 500 yards, and 5 touchdowns. But he is not the Julio Jones and the Calvin Ridleys, the Devontae Smiths, the Jared Judys that we are used to at Alabama. So I would pause on, on that as far as Alabama being Alabama. I think Alabama is ranked where they are because they are Alabama. Alabama has had a lot of close games this season. So like I said, pump the brakes on Alabama. I'm gonna take LSU in the over. Also, I'm going to take LSU in the money line as well. I just think LSU has too much for Bama to handle. And LSU's defense as well has been getting better every week. It seems like every week, every week LSU's defense is getting better and better. Harold Perkins is coming along. Makai Wingo is getting better. Mason Smith is getting better. All these guys are getting better. Andre Sam is getting better. So I think this is the time where LSU picked the right time to get better on defense, because this is the time that we are getting late into the season. We have Florida, we have A&M. Who am I missing? I know we have Florida, A&M, and Alabama left right now. So this is the time where it's pretty much put up a shut up time right now. You know, so most definitely, man. And another question that I came up with is, can Jaden Daniels live up to the hype? Well, I think I made the case already. You know, I think I made the case already for Jaden Daniels and the leading weeks up to this live. I'm not gonna waste a lot of y'all time tonight. Um, I'm gonna try to keep it short and simple tonight, because I don't want to go live for 3 hours every Sunday. I know everybody's not gonna watch the 3 hours, so I'm gonna try to cut it down. Can Jaden Daniels live up to the hype? And I will say immediately yes, because he has not given us any reason to believe otherwise. Look at last year. He lived up to the hype, even when he was just tuck telling and running a lot of those times. He was living up to the hype. You know, last season you can tell he wasn't as comfortable as he was this season. You can tell that easily, that Jaden Daniels was not as comfortable in the pocket, not as comfortable as making his reads. But let me tell you, Jaden Daniels is here this year. I think Jaden Daniels will be a first round pick. If he's not a first round pick, I think he can surprise a lot of teams with his athleticism. I went on record saying that Lamar Jackson is a better thrower of the football than Lamar Jackson. I truly believe that. Just off observation of both talents, and I think Jaden Daniels is having a Lamar Jackson type of season this year. And a lot of people are saying, well, Jaden Daniels can't win the Heisman because LSU has 2 losses. You can't win a Heisman with 2 losses. Well, Lamar Jackson won the Heisman with 3 losses. Tim Tebow won the Heisman with 3 losses, and so did Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel might have had 2 or 3 losses the year he won the Heisman, but Jaden Daniels has lived up to the hype since he's been at LSU, and I don't expect him to do any different against Alabama next week in Tuscaloosa at 6:45. This is Jaden Daniels' Heisman to lose right now, to be honest with you. I think he's in the driver's seat, and if he goes out here and have a Jaden Daniels type performance against Alabama, Nick Saban, and the Crimson Tide, I think he will seal the deal. He has showed us nothing but promise. He has showed us that he can compete at the highest level. He has showed us that he is the man, and I don't think nothing can prove otherwise except Jaden Daniels. I'm a rock with our boy down here in Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? He came out there from California, San Bernardino. Shout out to my boy out there, San Bernardino, that I met at the UCLA game. I can't think of his name right now, but man, I met him at that UCLA game in 2021. We sat there and talked. We became pretty good friends, man. Shouts out to my guy out there from San Bernardino. He put me on Jaden Daniels early, to be honest with you, because he told me he went to San Bernardino, and the rest is history. But like I said, shouts out to Jaden Daniels, man. I think he's only going to get better. He's getting better. He's getting progressively better throughout the season. Jaden Daniels is the real deal. He's going to show up like he always has. I can't remember one game that Jaden Daniels didn't show up. Maybe outside of that Arkansas game last year, but it was like 30 degrees outside. The man's from Southern California. I've been out there to Southern California many times. I love it. If it wasn't for my love and admiration for our athletes here in Tangipahoa Hope Parish, I would move to California. If that was my, if I didn't have the love and admiration I have for our kids and our community here, I would have moved a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand the man coming down here 40, 30 degree weather and struggling. I can understand that because I'm from Louisiana myself. So I done been out there to Chicago in -20-degree weather, and it's not fun, man. It's just it seemed like my body is shut down for a minute. So, but that was the only performance I can say that he didn't show up, and that was last year against Arkansas. But Jaden Daniels is prime. He's in the driver's seat to be the Heisman Trophy winner. So this game against Alabama is going to prove to be his coming out party for the Heisman. He's gonna have his Heisman moment against the Alabama Crimson Tide. My money is against LSU. I'm sorry, my money is with LSU money line and the over. I'm picking LSU in the over. I'm picking LSU money line. That's what I think gonna happen. LSU's gonna roll into Tuscaloosa and get the win, led by the Heisman Trophy candidate Jaden Daniels. Please comment in the comments. Um, please let me know what's your thoughts on that. We are going live on Facebook and YouTube. Please leave me a comment in the chat on Facebook or YouTube. I can put it on the screen if you are watching on YouTube. If you want to get into this live, please shoot me a DM or a text message. I can bring you in on screen with me into this live if you so choose to call out me and come get some of this smoke over here. I I invite all smoke of any kind. And like I said, if you disagree with me, please let me know. I will debate you on anything. It don't have to be football. It could be relationships. It could be conspiracy theories. I don't care. I know it all. I read it all. I am an avid reader. So please let me know. So, but the keys to the game, LSU will win if LSU will win this game if they win the turnover battle. If LSU wins the turnover battle, LSU will win this game against Alabama and Nick Saban and the Crimson Tide. If LSU wins the turnover battle, they will win the game because I don't think Alabama can outscore LSU. So that means if LSU has 2 turnovers force versus Bama 0, I think we 2 touchdowns favorites. If Alabama wins the turnover battle, I think we have a very close game or Alabama wins the game. Because I think Jaden Daniels trumps all. How can I say? I think Jaden Daniels trumps all weaknesses that LSU has on defense. I think Jaden Daniels trumps all those things. I think he trumps the defense. We struggled on defense. We struggled rushing the passer. We struggled tackling. We struggled in coverage. Our DBs has been horrible. We have not been DBU this year, but I think Jaden Daniels has trumped all those weaknesses. Without Jaden Daniels this year, LSU is probably not at 500 this year. If we have an average quarterback who only can throw the ball or who cannot run for a first down, who cannot do these things with his legs, I think LSU is average at best this year. If it's not for Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is the Jesus Christ of LSU. He saves everything. He performs miracles. He turns those who on the wrong path to the right path. I don't mean to be sacrilegious, but that's what Jaden Daniels has done for LSU this year. Without Jaden Daniels, I'm not a believer in this LSU team at all. Because outside of the outside of the offensive talent that LSU has this year, we don't have too much of nothing. Our DBs are not very good. Without Jaden Daniels, LSU is an average team. So LSU will win if we win the turnover battle. If LSU wins the turnover battle, I think we could be 7 to 10 point favorites against Alabama. Now that's easier said than done. Cause we all been here for Saints and LSU. I'm sorry, we all been here for LSU and Bama games for the last 10 plus years or however long you've been watching LSU football. But LSU Bama has been relevant probably for the last 10 to 15 years now, since Nick Saban took over at Alabama. But LSU will win if they win the turnover battle. All LSU needs is 2 stops and a turnover. 2 stops and a turnover will win the game for LSU the rest of the season. That's just how special this offense is. 2 stops and a turnover. 2 stops, a turnover will win the game for LSU. Like I said, Alabama does not have enough on offense, in my opinion. That's my opinion. I don't think they have enough on offense to compete with LSU. And I think